Hello, all four of you that are probably watching this video. If you didn't pick up from the title, this is going to be a tutorial on completing the Requiem for a Killer trophy in Arkham Knight. Now, anyone who may or may not have watched any of the other videos on my channel might know that in the past I've had videos that were not quite what they said. Take, for example, the Injustice review. This is not going to be a case of a spoof like that. This is actually a legitimate video. Actually no joke here, for once. Maybe the last time you ever see that. Now, in this trophy, what you have to do is play the Iceberg Lounge Endless Combat map as Batman in order to get Killer Croc to show up for a boss fight. And to do that, it's not exactly easy. You have to get, I think it's more than 1,000,000 points. It's whatever works out to 20 head-to-head points, the red ones that appeared on the screen a few moments ago. And once you do that, you clear the screen, and Killer Croc's boss fight will show up, at which point Nightwing will join you, and the trophy is beating him. Now, the hard part is actually getting to that point, because that is quite a few points on its own. So I've got a few tips here. To start, as you may have been watching so far, I've not really done any combat takedowns. If you do that, you will knock them out much faster than you were before, and that will bring on the harder enemies. So my suggestion, as you may have noticed through here, is to just keep doing basic attacks and counters and using your combo to break weapons when you get to it. I'd advise just breaking the stun batons and the shields, maybe knives if you're not good at them, although knives will let you do a knife takedown for a nice 100 points times your combo. But that's just me. I'm capable of doing those a little more easily than some people, so that's more just your personal preference. So focus on just doing the basic combo, and don't use your takedowns except to break weapons. It'll keep you with the easier enemies as long as possible. Now, if you do want to do something else rather than just breaking all the weapons, a good thing to do is use your remote electrical charge on the stun baton guys. That will knock them back. Once you have that down, the best thing to keep in mind is the electrically shielded enemies. The medics can shock them and give them a protective shield, and if you do the Batclaw slam on them, you get rid of the charge. That's a good way to keep your combo going. It's a good way to keep in the middle of fighting without having to break your combo, be it messing up, getting distracted like I have done many times, that kind of thing. After that, I would simply say focus on medics first, because they do electrify people quite often. Make sure to just dodge over enemies if you feel like you're not going to be able to counter their attacks. If they come at you with a knife and you're not really equipped to take care of them at the moment, just go ahead and do a dodge over them. The big intention is keeping your combo as high as possible. In here, as you can see, at a combo of 330 some, it's still just at 11 head-to-head points. Now, if you do it the way I wound up doing it in this video, which took a good 15 minutes or so at least just to get there, ninjas are going to show up before you get to that score, which ninjas can be very difficult. But the bigger brute-type enemies, the militia brutes as well as just the normal ones, are not, so that keeps things relatively simple. Ninjas, I would advise being very careful, as it's very easy to mess up their knife combos, because they can do them very quickly. So I'll just summarize the basic stuff so far, since I have to kill time. Focus on the enemies, basic, attack, counter, dodge. No really serious reason to stun anyone at this point, since the big guys don't show up. Once you do that, feel free to use your combo to break any weapons that you are not equipped to deal with, be it shields, as were the big case for me, and stun batons, knives as well, if you are not very good with the knife takedowns. Now, this is not an easy trophy, I'll go ahead and say that. If you feel frustrated, I'd just like to point out that this took me a few dozen tries as well. So, you're not alone in the difficulty here. Now, once you get to 20, as I mentioned before, you have to clear the screen from any enemies, so once you're at 20 head-to-head points, or whatever they're called, it's okay if your combo breaks at that point, because you have what it takes to get there. So you can do takedowns, and it's okay if they hit you, you're in the clear. Once the screen is clear, it'll switch to a little mini cutscene, and Croc will threaten you more blatantly. He's probably been trash-talking you the entire time, you punk. And then Nightwing will show up. As we can see, here's the cutscene. And here's the superhero with the most finely sculpted butt in the DC universe. And once you do this is the exact same boss fight as he had in his side mission in the Season of Infamy. If you didn't play that, basically what he's going to do is charge at you and be a general nuisance. What you have to do is keep taking down the thugs that are around him until you get to the point that you can do a dual team takedown. That's the only way to hurt Croc. Once you do that, I think it takes 3 and some basic beatdown and countering from there. It's okay if you don't keep your combo up at this point, because this is really not a terribly difficult boss fight if you've been playing plenty of Arkham Knight. Now, if you've not been and you don't have the grip on combat, congratulations for getting this far. I hope you don't die. This is just going to continue being a little skirmish for now. Not a whole lot to say at this point. If you feel like this is a difficult challenge, I will point out to this, hopefully this will inspire you. I was able to do it with a small poodle sitting on my lap the entire time, so, you know, it's not the most impossible thing probably not the most impossible thing you've ever done. And here is the third dual team takedown, and if I'm not mistaken, after this, maybe it wasn't the third, I wasn't counting. Math is for losers. But after this, you'll be able to jump in and... Alright, here we go. After this, you'll be able to jump in and the thugs are no longer a problem. You just counter Croc and you punch on the man. Punch on that big old boy. It's not too difficult. The counter icons give you plenty of time to respond. Once you take him down, the trophy will pop, and it will just be Batman and Nightwing in the middle of the Iceberg Lounge with a bunch of enemies that start going back to endless again, and it just turns into absolute chaos, which is really amusing if you ask me. So yeah, there's that. The trophy will pop, and boom, you're good to go. Just enjoy watching the rest of this video with the ridiculous amounts of chaos and goofiness, and thanks for watching. I hope this helped.
Mission complete.